Grand Chief remembered as a great political leader. Dame Meg Taylor emphasizes unity. And Madang Artists rally to pay last respects.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Seah.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Tuesday's news. As the country continues to mourn the death of the Grand Chief, a group of artists in Madang have rallied with their paintbrushes to show respect to the founding father. The Madang Art Maniacs, commonly known as MAM, are currently painting 2 murals of Sir Michael in Madang town. This, they say, is their way of honouring the Grand Chief, as many in the province will not be able to attend his funeral and burial.
Right in the centre of Madang town, an eye-catching work of art is in progress. The Madang Art Maniacs coming together to show respect and pay tribute to a man who held traditional arts and culture at heart when he led the country into independence.
We know that we all cannot be there, that the events that are going to take place will not be accessible to all of us in Papua New Guinea. So for us, we took time out yesterday to discuss what we're going to do as a group to show our respect and to pay tribute to this great man, our political leader, founder of our country.
Using this old billboard, they decided to paint 2 murals, one a younger version of Sir Michael with the other a recent image. This, they say, signifies the long history of the Grand Chief.
So it tells of generations of influence and leadership and decisions that he has input, and has given his life to for us as a country.
A similar mural was drawn by Mervyn Mandawa in Wewak town. This image, posted on his Facebook page, went viral in a few minutes, with many commending the artist. Many graphic artists also took to Facebook with their work as tributes to the late Grand Chief.
The latest photo I did was to pay tribute to great Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare. Why I did the younger version photo of him was because when he was young, he used to live in what now called Bronx Compound. It was once called Admin Compound. It is still Admin Compound, but somehow it's called Bronx now. So he lived there when he was a young person or a young man.
As the country started the National Week of Mourning yesterday, a show of solidarity was shown throughout the country. And for the people of Madang, many will not be able to attend the funeral and burial of Sir Michael, but it is through these acts it will honor him.
Everyone wants to do something to show that respect. So this is our contribution.
Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
The popular NCD Walk and Yoga for Life program was held once more last Sunday morning, but this time it was purposely to honor founding father of PNG Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare. A large group of students from the University of Papua New Guinea, as well as military personnel from Tauranga Barracks, also took part in the walk, joining NCD Governor Poes Pakop.
For International Tricking Party. The Walk and Yoga for Life program, which is part of the Active City Development Program in NCD, saw a grand launching a couple of weeks ago for year 2021. The event has been held over the past 5 years, attracting about 2,000 walk participants every early Sunday morning on average. Last Sunday morning, the walk participants were urged to wear black and walk as part of paying respect to Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare, who passed away last Friday.
This morning we are walking in memory of our late Grand Chief Sir Michael Thomas Somare. So you can see all the people walking.
And then we paying respect. Lo leader belum plan Islam country, leader belum plan Somare.
Lo tarama, ami wise. Lo come here today, lo walk about, lo paying homage, lo Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare.
Students of the University of Papua New Guinea were happy to join the NCD community in the walk upon Governor Pakop's invitation.
We got a call on a late notice yesterday, and We were privileged to be given the invite to walk with the governor. EP students, we are one about 50 to 60 students. I think Governor of be national capital district in this walk of life.
The walk followed its usual route, beginning at Murray Barracks, going through Poreporena Freeway and to Harbour City area, Paga Hill Ring Road, and finished at Ella Beach. Governor Parkop honored the founding father of the nation through his speech after the walk.
We won't be here as we are now, facing the future without his vision and his passion.
Danny Sorere, National EMTV News.
Governor-General Grand Chief Sir Bob Dadai received a condolence message from Governor-General for Australia David Hurley. In expressing his sympathies on behalf of the people of Australia, the Australian Governor-General described Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare as a fearless champion for the interest of Papua New Guinea and a lasting inspiration not only in PNG but in the region as well. In response, PNG's Governor-General acknowledged the people and government of Australia for the invaluable support and the close friendship shared between our two countries over many years. 45 years ago, when the Grand Chief, late Sir Michael Somare, led PNG into independence, Morabians supported him throughout his political journey as a leader. Morabe's former Premier and member for Buang, Titi Christian, today recounted his memories with the Grand Chief, late Sir Michael Somare, as the leader of Pangu Party. Buang in the Bulolo district was one of the places the Grand Chief visited.
Morabe's former Premier and member for Buang, Titi Christian, says Buang in the Bulolo district was one of the areas the Grand Chief, late Sir Michael Somare, frequently visits when in Morabe. Christian said the title of being a Prime Minister during the 1980s wasn't a hindrance when attending to issues affecting the lives of the people, even from the remote areas. The 60-year-old says the Grand Chief would still make time available to be with the people there.
Mi shortcut no gebeti ko Buang Road. Tupra Lady Veronica tupra gam bipa rain. Tasor emi want them Mary Brown tupra gam na mi pre go through on press and is that shortcut road ko gebeti ko Buang and mi name mosem Somare Gabu Road.
Titi Christian formerly met the Grand Chief in the 1980s when he was the member for Buang constituency through then Bulolo MP and Transport Minister Matthew Bendum. The former Premier recounted the memories of the Grand Chief, late Sir Michael Somare, and said he was a great political leader whom he and the other political leaders learned from.
Or must name him the great Grand Chief Sir Michael Thomas Somare. And me to go and must get this name. Even though I go, but this is the name and must stop because I'm too blown is the this is the country. I'm Tasur, I'm one man, and uniting this is 900 plus. Kautaya. Minus several country. But country blow you me a Papua New Guinea. Can't talk press, but I talk no God. Masculine Kala blow you, masculine talk press blow you, that's you must come on one blood and blood.
Last week, former lay MP and Treasury Minister Bart Philemon also paid his tribute to the Grand Chief, late Sir Michael Somare, and said he was a great leader in the history of PNG.
So we not only learned from before we went into politics, but we learned from them when we were in politics, yeah. The biggest achievement about Somare, I think, was the fact that he has that way in which he can unite the whole country. There's no country in the world like our country. Most diversified nation on earth. 800 different languages. And in Africa, we looked at Africa as countries that we can learn from how we manage independence. And we, with leadership of Somare and all those that work with him, the biggest thing was to be able to have a peaceful transition from colonial administration into independence, something which some of us are very proud of, looking at the history of Africa where they have to fight to get there. So I give Somare praise for his leadership among those others like Marukiki, Ruben Tareka, Ebi Oluwale, and all those people.
The Morobian leaders called on the current and future leaders of PNG to learn from the Grand Chief concerning his political impact on this nation that led to the country's independence and moved the country forward economically. Julie Badui, Owa, National EMTV News, Ley.
And now we have live pictures from the house cry over the Sir John Guy Stadium here in Port Moresby. Tonight's tributes will be by the Central and Gulf provinces. NCD Governor Powis Pakop will give the opening remarks tonight. Prime Minister James Marape is also expected to speak, as well as members of the family of the late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare. Also, for those of you who would like to watch the proceedings of the house cry tonight, you can do so on our Facebook page, EMTV Online, Facebook at 7 p.m. after the news. You're watching National EMTV News. More of the day's stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. At a time where the country and the Pacific mourn a great leader, Pacific Islands Forum Secretary General Dame Meg Taylor, as a Papua New Guinean, calls for unity throughout the country. She resonates the Right Honourable Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare's emphasis on unity and nationality.
As a young Papua New Guinean in the 70s who witnessed the pre-independence and independence period, Dame Meg Taylor said it was a honor working for Sir Michael Somare. Both Dame Meg Taylor and Sir Rabi Namalu joined the Chief Minister's office in 1973, working in the political office. This was the hype of working towards self-governance, with John Momis travelling the length and breadth of Papua New Guinea, consulting Papua New Guineans on how the constitution would be like.
When I look back now, what a privilege it was. What a great honour to have been a very, very small part in the emergence of our country to independence, all led by a man with great vision and tremendous energy, and a humble man who took this dream for us and this vision for us with drive to make sure that we became independent and to be responsible for ourselves.
She says the biggest achievement for Michael was being able to unite a country with 800 language.
Guiding the country into self-government and into independence, I mean, what an incredible achievement that any human being, and he leading a country of such diversity in languages, diversity in culture. All of us in this an island that had been, carved into Dutch New Guinea, German New Guinea, Papua, with the British and the Australians, and then, of course, East New Britain, West New Britain, the New Guinea Islands, and Bougainville, bringing that under one umbrella, really emphasising the unity of purpose, unity of who we were as a people, and I think that is an amazing accomplishment.
Sir Michael naturally drew people to him, something he does effortlessly.
Had to say. But his own charismatic nature drew people to him. And I think not everybody in the world has that. Well, absolutely they don't. And Michael Thomas Somare did. His devotion to his wife, Lady Veronica Somare, and his family was also very, very important in his life. And I think those of us around him understood that. And I think it was also an incredible sacrifice that this family has made, that they've shared their father with all of us.
As someone who played a part in building that vision of unity since 1973, Dame Meg is worried that tribalism has divided the notion of nationality, something the Grand Chief highly promotes. As the country and the Pacific mourns the death of the Grand Chief, she has this message in Tok Pisin.
Sir Michael Somare and the Lady Veronica Somare, and all family, yeah. All of them family blow you me all kata. Grand Chief Somare, emos him you me walk home to the house or emos him strong close blow you me. Now, em los him you me that's all you me no can lose him thinking. All story belonging. All walk long and you must talk him all to Monam. Country blow you mean no come up nothing. He come up law strong law to Monam. The self-government, the independence, come law walk long. All manos him Somare, Kiki, Luz, Wal Rua, Line Blow. All can I name me no call him, sorry Thomas.
Shamin Poriambeb, National EMTV News.
At the first night of house cry for the 2-week-long mourning period that has been declared by the government to honour founding father Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare, Motu Koitabuans joined leaders of the country to pay respects and reflect on the great legacy left behind. NCD Governor Paus Pakop has initiated for the National Capital District to host the house cry at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Complex to enable various provincial groups in the country to honour the life of the founding father who led the country to political independence.
Youths from Vabukori sang songs of praise and worship at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Complex, reflecting on the life of the founding father. As customary landowners of Port Moresby City, the place where late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare hoisted the PNG flag for the first time in 1975, the Motu Koitabuans paid their respects in traditional style. Former Kairuku Hiri MP Sir Moi Ave, who at one stage served with Sir Michael, paid his respects and acknowledged him for fighting for his people's rights to their customary land.
We are so fortunate in this country that because of his faith in the cultures of Papua New Guinea, that 97% of the land still belongs to the customary landowners. We have had the Motu Koitabu people acknowledging his enormous contribution to our land.
The host, NCD Governor Paus Pakop, shared some words of inspiration for the younger generation based upon the legacy that the Grand Chief left behind. He said with Port Moresby being a home to late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare and his family over many years, he was humbled to host such a house cry.
It's a great loss to the entire nation, and Prime Minister will be speaking in this respect, but it's equally a great loss to us here in our city, our nation's capital, the capital that he made his home, and that is of his wife, Lady Veronica.
As the man who took over from Sir Michael, East CP Governor Alan Bird shared his experiences of filling in the big shoes.
We all refer to him as a founding father, and he is. He led many founding fathers. Many of them were unsure, but he led them. And he said, this is the way, and they followed him.
As the 8th Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea since Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare led the country to political independence, James Marape shared words of appreciation to the father of the nation as he stands upon the foundation that was set back then.
This is passing of the greatest chief of our land, who was very exemplary, the one who has the greatest imprint in our country, the one who ensured our country marched into independence with optimism and courage, the one who was the greatest unifier.
Central and Gulf provinces will be at the house cry tonight. Denny Sorere, National EMTV News.
And now we throw back to Sir John Guy Stadium, where the house cry is on at the moment. Tonight's dedication service and tribute by Central and Gulf provinces. On the screen now is a choir from Central Province. And a note to our viewers, you can catch the continuation of that on our Facebook page at EMTV Online, live streaming at 7 p.m. tonight. And now looking at the NAS Fund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina will buy $0.2775 US, $0.3521 Australian dollars, $0.2220 euro, and 28.98 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee and copper closed lower, and cocoa closed higher. Palm oil and copper closed lower, crude oil is trading lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 603.14 points higher. The ASX 200 is trading at 27.25 points higher. And the All Ordinaries is trading at 32.8 points higher. You're watching National EMTV News. We'll have more stories after these messages. Don't go away. Welcome back to the news. Health Minister Jelta Wong is devastated by the passing of Dr. Paisen Dakulala, the current Deputy Secretary of National Health Services Standards. Late Dr. Dakulala encountered a cardiac arrest after midnight on the 1st of March and lost his fight shortly after 6 a.m. Minister Wong expressed what a true and committed man he was to his family, friends and his work. Dr. Dakulala was a leader who woke up, dressed up and served his people with distinction. And his dedication was demonstrated during the recent state of emergency for COVID-19. Dr. Dakulala's body was transferred to the funeral home yesterday, and the department will discuss arrangements in consultation with the family. There was heavy police presence in Lae this morning as they worked to prevent a repeat of yesterday's sporadic looting. At least 2 shops were stoned and looted when they opened at the start of the 2-week mourning period.
Police set up roadblocks at 5 a.m. this morning. At Bumbu Bridge, they checked PMV buses. Anyone who didn't appear to have a purpose going into town was removed and sent home. At Bugendi, traffic slowed to a crawl. Police presence preventing any potential looters from taking advantage of the morning period.
Later, say Michael Sumare, you may make him low, passing way, you may legend so man time and midday. Now, you don't need to come to the street and make him no program or something. So, Thomas now say Mr. Viet and true by me like you can pass it. So, me like advising me blog public knowledge, not a drama making because me blabber come out of full force.
Yesterday, looters broke into a shop by a Bangladeshi businessman soon after the shop opened. Police were called in to disperse the looters. At Erico, the I1 shop stoned and looted. This morning, police at the Miles area continued to warn people that they would be severely dealt with if they disrespected the morning period. Morobe Governor Ginseng Saunu has issued orders for a liquor ban that started at midnight. The Provincial Executive Council has also requested that St. Michael's body transits here in Ley before going to Wewak for burial. Charlene Eri, National EMTV News, Ley.
The Akwangi aid post in the Kome LLG in Menyamia has been closed for 9 years. Ward 12 Councillor Eric John said the closure has forced locals to walk long distances to get health care. Without this basic service, a lot of people have died and pregnant mothers have lost babies. With Kome being the furthest Menyamia LLG bordering Marawaka in the Eastern Highlands, their stories echo that of other border communities in the country as well. This abandoned building was the Akwangi aid post. It served a population of up to 10,000 people while in operation. It is now in a sad state with broken walls and windows. It was closed 9 years ago because of medicine shortage.
Popular port areas. And one run down for 9 years, solid 9 years. Run down.
The aid post is in Ward 11 of the Kome LLG, Menyamia district, and borders Marawaka in the Eastern Highlands. Since it was closed in 2013, locals have had to walk long distances to get to the nearest church-run health center at Kwaplaling. With not too many vehicles in this area, very ill patients are carried to the health center.
Most of the sick patients also seem heavy road because the distance, close to him long.
Once one plakar me plan bungim chance me plakan baim naksim go. Na time me plan no gat bungim one plakar amos me plasa walking bed. Time work school mangio se mol sick o mlagi walk lon no katihan long le leg lolem. Distance lo me plakarim all go long way lo koplalim.
Their story echoes that of many other bordering communities around the country where access to basic services is lacking. The locals at the Akwangi are calling on the district, provincial and national governments to look into this issue.
Need him this PSIP so singa money can support him na behind him request blomitla councillor.
Mosemipla like mosemousik blomipla mask kama kon plasam big plausik. Because can help me play triple word inside of this area.
So now their struggle without an aid post continues. Lucy Kopana, National EMTV News, Ley. Following the issue of reads for the Mosby Northwest by-election, intending candidates are getting ready for their nomination. Recently, supporters of a candidate rallied to show their support in cash and kind to help him in his nomination. Intending candidate Joe Tonde will be paying his nomination tomorrow to contest the Mosby Northwest by-election.
Following the issue of writs for the Mosby Northwest by-election last Thursday, nominations are open for intending candidates. On Sunday, families, friends and supporters gathered to show their support for intending candidate Joe Tonde. They contributed food supplies, pigs and some cash to support him in his nomination and campaign.
Now all youths talk, all staff on the view, or but I want them in honor of you sleep run, or by sleep on the view, keke on the view.
So me come though, give him salary, market money from me 500 kilo.
Intending candidate Joe Tonde is not a new candidate but has contested in 2017 election. In this election, he will be contesting under the PNG One Nation Party. While thanking his supporters for their support, he called on the people to show respect for the country's founding father in this election period.
Said Michael, let me die too. Me masih got respect. Me not talking about bilas. Now I'm country leader blow me must blow sore na you be voting voters all.
Party leader and Eastern Highlands Governor Peter Numu was also there to show his support. He challenged the intending candidate to have the people at heart as they need a leader to represent them. The intending candidate will be paying his nominations tomorrow.
All family belong him, coordinators belong him, online belong him, but come give him contribution. Now me talk, only no talk or me campaign yet. Now you know campaign him talk. Belong all family lo come give him support na ready na.
The governor also paid tribute to the country's founding father, Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare and Sir Mekere Morota. He says it was the country's founding father that shaped the country's political system, which allowed for free and fair elections.
All talk all white man, that's all by leading you me. That's all. Emi sanat na talk now me bla yet can run him affairs blow me bla. Na and shape him, na mold him, politics, the government, the people blow me lawyer, country blow me.
Other candidates vying for the Mosby Northwest seat are Lawyer Boy Samuel and Anna Bice, among others. Rayon Lakingu National, MTV News.
A part of Transnational Highway at Upper Watut in Bulolo district of Morbid Province is in a deteriorating condition which poses high risk for vehicles. According to JM & Sons surveyors on the ground, that road or part of the road has cost many lives over the years. JM & Sons has been contracted by GHD to do drone imagery feasibility study before major work commences. The Transnational Highway starts from 9 Mile intersection at Ley over the Markham Bridge to Bulolo, through Bulolo to the Poyu-Menyamya intersection. The ADB has funded the road project through Gulf Province to Kaintiba, and from there will link up to Poyu, which is where the road connects Port Moresby and Ley. This is in line with Prime Minister James Marape's 1 billion kina per year missing link program to connect PNG. Following the signing of an agreement between Number One Savings and Loan Society and New Britain Palm Oil Limited, oil palm growers in West New Britain Province will now be able to store all their savings in a safe space. This agreement is encouraging for the people to build their savings, ensuring long-term positive benefits. Number One Savings and Loan Society recently partnered with subsidiary of Sime Darby Plantation, the New Britain Palm Oil Limited, and Oil Palm Industries Corporation to provide savings and loan services to smallholder oil palm growers in West New Britain Province. The agreement was signed and launched in West New Britain and witnessed by representatives from all stakeholders involved, affiliated service providers and oil palm smallholders. Head of Smallholder Affairs, Wilfred Tangoles, said the real beneficiaries of this agreement will be the people.
It's not for anybody else, it is dedicated to the future of our growers and their children and their children.
During the signing, Chairman of Number One Savings and Loan Society, John Cholai, said NSLS is dedicated to the cause of helping smallholder oil palm growers create a savings culture that will ensure long-term benefits for generations to come.
Our assurance is the money will be safe. You just 20 kinagree, or 30 kinagree, 50 kinagree, 100 kinagree, put it at our side. You put it. And then you see what you can do.
Nancy Maima, chairlady of the Mama Loose Fruit Group, who are direct beneficiaries of this agreement, said for years growers of oil palm have been needing an avenue or a safe one at least to deposit and grow their savings.
Most of our parents only diagopinists. Na sorry long all them they've been talking of things that only no lookim, dreaming of only no lookim. Na they have died. Na long this launching, it's a reality for us, the next generation.
I think now by Yumi, all right, now Yumi by Amamas, Yumi by Smile, all same. Yumi through this la savings na me plagat all this la good plus sit down, school fee blow, pikinini blow Yumi.
Number One Savings and Loan Society is committed to opening a regional branch in West New Britain to ensure service delivery is convenient for members in the province. Farmers in East New Britain Province are grateful for the national government's agriculture price support program. They personally thanked the Agriculture Minister John Simon during a recent visit to 2 villages in Gazelle district.
The Agriculture Minister John Simon started his visit here in Kadaulung village in the inland mining area of Gazelle district. The visit is purposely to see for himself if smallholder farmers or villages are benefiting from the price support program, which was initiated by the Marape Basil government. The price support program is an initiative of the Marape Basil government and implemented through the Agriculture Department. Through this program, the government has put forward 50 million kina to subsidize commodity prices. The cocoa industry got 10 million kina. The money is managed by the PNG Cocoa Board. That money has been shared among cocoa-producing provinces, with East New Britain Province getting 1 million kina. And just over the last 6 weeks, over 200 tons of cocoa beans were sold.
The PNGAC Group, over the last 6 weeks, has purchased over 200 tonne and injected close to over 600,000 kina into the pockets of farmers. Amazing effort for everybody.
Boyson Waninara buys wet cocoa beans at Kadaulung village, ferments and dries the beans. He couldn't contain his emotions in front of the Agriculture Minister, almost bursting into tears. He contained himself and proceeded to thank the Minister for the price support program initiative.
And big plus something to us where PNG Agriculture and roll him out. This initiative belong national government through the Department of Agriculture and Livestock. Now I come up in this initiative long supporting you farmers, long compensating you long hard work long time.
The price support program has seen an unprecedented interest from village farmers throughout East New Britain Province, knowing they will now get more for their hard work.
So time you look him, and encourage him also work cacao, you can lose him. You can go into other crops, but remember that cocoa is still here to stay.
The minister also visited Navunaram village and received similar success stories.
Lord Tuesday, me plus salim 11 bags. 11 bags long outspend at a price of 430 kina. So total of 4,730 me plus sim.
This is what the price support program has done, encouraging more farmers to get into cocoa production. This truck here has a load of 50 bags of cocoa, about 4 tons of dry cocoa beans that were bought in just one day, injecting 23,500 kina directly into the village.
Cocoa industry is valued around 809 billion around there. So 3% of that money goes to the farmers all world. So you mean farmers, by doing this kind of arrangement, you mean try to increase the share of cake, you mean go on top of money stop. You like him money, you carry cacao, you go and hang on the scale. Time cacao, you put in the scale, you exchange the money.
The Agriculture Minister is closely monitoring the program to ensure funds earmarked for subsidizing commodity prices are given directly to smallholder farmers or village farmers. He further announced that NEC has approved another 24 million kina towards the program, with the cocoa industry getting another 9 million kina. Shamin Poriambe, National EMTV News.
And Trukai Sports is next. Details after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Papua New Guinea Football Association is looking into improving football at the member association level and providing a pathway for the local leagues to play at an elite level. General Secretary of PNGFA, Pius Letenge, said there will be PNGFA-sanctioned tournaments for member associations to take part. This will provide that elite level of competition.
Since the appointment of the new Papua New Guinea Football Association administration under President John Kapinato, he has embarked on improving the standard of football across the member associations. General Secretary of PNGFA Pius Letenge says it is important to restructure the competitions in the member associations and to bring in technical training for referees and officials in the local affiliate competitions.
For the MAs, our focus is we want to restructure the programs at the level, okay, particularly the competitions. And we want to also bring a lot of technical programs down to the MA levels, and that's the foundation where we are focused at.
Letenge added that having member associations take part in PNGFA sanctioned competitions, like the soon-to-be introduced Youth League and futsal competitions, will encourage a competitive atmosphere for the growth of the game.
We have other competitions as well. Structured in a way that we also engage the member associations to participate in it. So we have futsal activities coming up. We want member associations to also engage in that competition. We have a Y League. President mentioned Y League. That's Youth League, targeting specific age groups, and that's at the elite level, national level, where we take ownership of it, but we will also encourage MAs, member associations, to also engage in it. So in that way, they feel part of the federation.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
And Trukai Sport continues with more after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. With a decentralized system introduced by Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League focused on developing the local leagues across the country, opportunities are now opening up for local league competitions to affiliate to PNG RFL. The highest peak in Papua New Guinea, Mount William, has affiliated their league, Mount William Rugby Football League, with PNG RFL.
Today was a significant day for the people of Kundiawa Gambog district, especially at Gambog, with the highest peak in the country, Mount Wilhelm, represented in a rugby league competition, which is now an affiliate of Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League. PNG RFL's Game Development Manager, Toksi Nema, was on hand today to sign the official documents to accept the league that is played at the Gambog station as an affiliate of PNG RFL. Deputy President of the league, John Kua, says the opportunity is here now to play in an affiliate league.
Potential player all stop, but all no girls too, but all no got the chance to go inside. So me talk big thank you on behalf of people of Kundian Gembo, na inside of Chimbu province. Magi Mouse na me talk thank you lo PNG RFL chairman. You blow him dolo, me can come inside through. Chance na. Big opportunity go back long. Maybe all boys lo place. Plenty time maybe stop no. Like play tas or maybe no got chance to play lo town.
Toksi Nema said PNG RFL has a new governance and management model which allows for more emphasis on promoting local leagues.
The sport of rugby league is our national sport. We will consider him as a national sport, and then everybody want to play. Now, we have been. I need to plan in the participation level and by covering all boys, girls, also man and everyone them. And then you go down to junior level school competitions too.
Nema added that Mount William Rugby Football League has done well with their affiliation bid and encouraged other leagues to comply with all requirements as well.
Now, Mount William, we must talk about longer, we looking at the document longer, only fully require meeting all the requirement where PNG RFL is setting longer. So, I'm good long Mount William. Now, good plan we come lo TV lo talk out this lab because me making mouse of PNG RFL that Mount William will work in something good. Na me like him all the leagues inside the country lo behind him Tesla process.
John Ambane, who had previously been part of the Port Moresby Rugby Football League administration, is now helping the new league as a technical officer. He says the affiliation will bring to light some of the talent up in the Gambog area of Chimbu province.
Thank you,
PNGRFL Toksinema. Lo gives la privilege and chance lo guanta check online lo Mount William Rugby Football League. Poko about me guanta la mit looking Mount William Rugby League is unique place Santa lo Chimbu where me looking more got good raw talent of players all style up the size all got and they need something to drive him or come outside where good plan now lo all affiliate him isla league come into lo PNGRFL and games la chance lo expose him all players all got lem.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
And that story wraps up Trukai Sports, the weather report for the next 24 hours after these messages. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
A look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Cloudy with possible rain showers and drizzles in Port Moresby, and cloudy with occasional rain showers in Popondita. In the Mamasa region, cloudy periods with chances of a few showers in Lae and Whanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, fine partly cloudy weather with evening shower or two in Lorengau and Kavieng. And in the Highlands region, mostly cloudy with chances of rain showers in Mount Hagen and some evening rain showers and drizzles in Wabeg.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And before we go, we cross over once again to Sir John Guy's Stadium, bringing you live pictures of the house cry. Tonight's dedication service by Central and Gulf provinces. We have on stage Central Governor Robert Agarobe.
Are both tangible and intangible. The tangible ones include the earlier days he spent at Sogeri High School as a student and graduated in 1975 with a teaching qualification. He then taught another great leader in the late Bennett Narakobi in Brandy High School, Buiwek, East Sepik Province in 1958 and 1959. He then returned again in 1962 to 1963 and further his teaching training at Sogeri. This was the foundation for the intellectual development and enlightenment of the father of the nation to begin his political career. This is a proud history that the people of Koyari
and a note to our viewers, you can continue on watching events of tonight's house cry after the news at 7 p.m. EMTV will live stream tonight's program on our Facebook page at EMTV Online. And that's been the news, sport and weather for today, Tuesday the 2nd of March 2021. On behalf of the entire EMTV news team right around the country, pleasant viewing. Good night.